Dogg, you and Billy are tag team champions, but your role at this point in time, are you producing and wrestling? Are you involved in the creative process, just wrestling? What's going on here?
So at the time, I am producing and wrestling, and I'm not in the create. Look, I am around the creative process, but I'm not in it yet. So I'm producing and wrestling, and this is about the time where I said, "Hey, I need right after this Mania is when I kind of said, hey, I need to focus on one thing, and wrestling ain't it." So that's the in ring retirement comes here shortly.
All right, in the match on that Raw, you go to a no contest with Goldust and Cody Rhodes when Brock Lesnar interferes and hits the F5 on both Cody and Goldust. Looking back, the story's a little bit weird, so we know my memory of history is foggy, as is yours.
Yeah.
So here's what the Observer had to say.
Oh, great.
Lesnar
They're not kind. They're not kind to the old Road Dogg.
I mean, they may not be kind to a lot of things in some of what I'm going to say.
I'm so sorry for whatever I did to the person who writes that.
Lesnar came out and gave both Rhodes brothers F5s. Heyman explained that he gave Triple H and Stephanie two choices, but they chose the third choice and that they weren't going to let Lesnar have a match on TV. So Lesnar destroyed the Rhodes brothers with chair shots. He killed Cody with 4 shots, actually broke a chair on Goldust. Okay, this continues, not me, still the blurb.
Still the blurb.
Okay, think about this logic. The heel owners won't let the heel that they signed because it was good for business to have him have a match, so he's mad and takes it out by destroying 2 guys that the authority didn't want in the company in the first place and only hired because they were forced to based on a stipulation, and then the longtime storyline partners of Triple H will get left alone. This was bordering on WCW here, so it wasn't an insult to you. It was just a slap in the face to the whole program.
Yeah. Well, and look, I don't disagree with that. And it, things happen and things change, and so we'll talk about that coming up, I'm sure. But
that was going to be my follow-up, actually.
Yeah,
is this all because of Punk walking out and there's a lot of sporadic and spontaneous changes taking place before the show even starts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, again, 3 years later, I would have known a lot more about the goings-on behind the scenes of all of this. But where I was at now, I was not privy to how much relied on Punk, and so when him walking out, how much crumbled, how many dominoes fell. So I'm not privy to that information. I don't have it. But look, this is a time when, this is a time in yesteryear when it didn't have to make sense to the Observer. It just had to make sense to Vince. And if it did, we're good to go. And from what I understand, that time is in the past, and there is a new sheriff in town, and the show will be run a little differently, and maybe the stories will be more consistent. I think consistency is the key to success. So hopefully they'll keep the stories more consistent and start to get into some long-term storytelling. I think the sky's the limit from here,
I like it. The next night on SmackDown, you wrestle Cody Rhodes in a singles match, and you take the loss. Did you see the Raw wins and losses, man?
You just brush right over that like it doesn't hurt, and that hurts.
I don't think that one really hurt.
It hurts under my left breast.
I don't think that one did.
I popped myself. I apologize.
Mammogram.
Yeah, go ahead.
You hurt based on a manogram there.
Yes.
All right. Did you see the Raw potential in Cody, especially in singles matches, compared to the tag team matches that he was a part of?
So I did not, and I'm being perfectly honest with you, at that time. Look, I was in a different place. I was, 20-something years into my wrestling career at that time, and Cody was 7 or something. You know what I mean? So I was at a different place in my career than he was at the time. I would love to have had the Cody that I saw at Hell in the Cell or whatever. I would love to have worked a program with that dude because he had experience. He had gone around the world and worked with different people and learned. And man, he came back so polished. But at that time, I thought, okay, he's a good tag partner with DiBiase or with Aaron Stevens or what Mizdow, whatever. And so his brother, I thought they were a great tag team, and I thought that would go somewhere. But I didn't see a lot of potential in him that early. Now, when I became part of the creative process, and we came up with Stardust, and that was something that Cody and I came up with. I thought it was great. I thought it was some of his best work, and I thought it kind of showed he had how much range he had. So I know that got a lot of flack back in the Dizzy.
I always thought he enjoyed it too.
Yeah,
and then you read that like it wasn't something he enjoyed, but like I actually shot a lot of stuff with Dusty and him before it ever went air too, like for the concepts when discussing with you.
Yeah, just trying to come up with what does this setting look like? What does Stardust's location look like? You know what I mean? And so they were on board, and we did it, and I thought it was good, and I still think it was good, and I think we could have, like, Stardust could have been like an Intercontinental Champion, easy. And so I know that's not what he was reaching for, the stars, and I was offering him the clouds. You know what I mean? So I get it, and I'm proud of it.
On Raw, February 3rd, 2014, the infamous steel cage match between yourselves, Cody, and Goldust. The new we're going to the quotes today. I'm going to the well on this one.
Let's just do it.
We're just poking. I'm poking the bear today. The New Age Outlaws beat the Rhodes Brothers in 1609 in a cage match to retain the WWE tag titles. They said it was only pinfalls or submission rules, no escaping the cage to win. Lots of Punk chants here. Match was fine. The big spot was Cody doing a moonsault off the top of the cage onto Road Dogg. Road Dogg was supposed to catch him, but he was slightly out of position, and Road Dogg was able to slightly break Cody's fall, but he landed right on his shoulder. He was really lucky he wasn't seriously hurt on that one. Billy Gunn gave Cody the famouser for the pin. You've told the story before about Dusty being super hot at you regarding this, but let's take that away. What did you think of that match?
Look, I thought it was fine. I thought, it took all day to get to that. And it says I was supposed to, whoever said I was supposed to catch him. I had a conversation with Cody that day. Look, that's all that I remember of that day, is because it was such a traumatic deal about this moonsault. And so I'm not like a lucha base at the time. I'm like 45 years old, and he's young and in the prime of his career, and he's going to jump off. And I said, I'm not just going to catch you like guys catch. Like I'm not that guy. I don't do that. And he was like, no, you just got to put so it happened exactly how it was supposed to happen. It got a bunch of heat from it. And the thing is for me, the finish I wanted to do was Billy pushed me out of the way. Cody hit the ground. Billy hit him with a famouser. So me and Billy are a sound-formed, tag team, but he took this high-risk maneuver that didn't pay off this one time, and it cost him. You know what I mean? That was the finish I thought made more sense. Hitting me with the thing and then losing to Billy right there, I don't know. That just never felt right to me.
And we have the drama, the stories, and all that go along with it. Butterfingers Brian.
Butterfingers McGee. Yeah, look, I did play outfield in high school, though. I was pretty good, pretty damn good catcher. And they're not catcher, outfielder. And then took a good crow hop to throw in, to my cutoff man. Now I'm just going into some baseball nomenclature. There's just some words that I know having to do with baseball.
Ryan, you were saying baseball sound effects, but I don't have them anymore.